Before we learn of God's love and power, he tells us right there in the beginning that he is a creator. My name is Kirk Nugent, YouTuber, content creator, and, well, minister. Except my church looks very different. February 20th from 3 to 5 p.m. is our Content Creation for Ministry Masterclass. In this 2-hour session, we'll take a look at what ministry can learn from content creators and share what content creation as a practice has borrowed from ministry. Attendees will leave with practical, proven strategies to be successful in ministry online. $67 reserves your seat. Go to kirkrnugent.com/masterclass today and let's figure out how it all works. What is good, family? Listen, you caught me mid-laugh because Claudia got me laughing in the background, y'all. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm doing my cheers. You know why? Because we started off the live with super chats. Is that what we're doing? Like Monty came through with heat from the word go. Like Monty was like, no. The power of video. Boom, super chat. All I can say to the rest of you is go thou and do likewise. All right, Seesaw Studio, what's good? Gary Jones is in the building. Gary Jones is part of that mod squad. Love it. Kanik is here. Daryl Mitchell, what's good, family? Listen, go ahead and hit the share button. Do that right now. Do that often. Tag folks on Facebook. Grab the link, share it. You know, a lot more people have the community tab on YouTube than you probably think. And the community tab is basically YouTube social media. I know that I'm probably gonna have to do a video on that one. Don't worry. I got you covered. But listen, we got announcements. You know, always got to start with the book because I can't tell you how many times, even though I say this literally every week, I can't tell you how many times people say, what, you have an ebook? And every week I look in the back end of my website and I see people buying the ebook. Why? Because they didn't know I had the ebook. So fam, here's the ebook, okay? 31 live streaming tips to grow your audience, all right? To grow your audience. If that's what you're in need of, trust me, this is like a 31-day guide. Take it step by step, day by day. By the end of the 31 days, I guarantee you will have leveled up. That is for sure. That is my promise to you. So definitely go ahead and grab the book. It's on my site, which is above us somewhere here on the page, kirkrnugent.com. So let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Now we have the courses. All right. So the masterclass is coming up and I'm going to share. You just saw the video for the masterclass a second ago. The masterclass is coming up next Sunday and I'm doing a preview every day this week at 12:30 to kind of give you guys, wet your beak a little bit to give you a little taste test, the appetizer, the little Asian spot, that you give you a little, a little piece of the chicken on a toothpick. I'm giving you that all week long so that you can determine whether or not this class is for you. But what we keep on doing with these master classes that we take them and we make them into self-paced online courses. And what you're seeing on screen right now are the courses that are currently available, right? kirkrnugent.com/courses. These are things you're interested in: StreamYard, Ecamm, remote production, course creation. These are the ones you're going to want to go check out. Would love for you guys to be able to dive in there and leave a comment. Let us know how you like it because we want to get in there with you. And so, yes, content creation for ministry. Had a great time with the preview video today. What's good, Mantis? What's good, Tawana? I see you guys coming through. David Hunt is in the building. Yes, Kanika's putting the link in the chat. Y'all are, listen, my mod squad is the best on the planet. But yeah. So we have content creation for ministry. If God has placed something within you and you're like, how can I share this thing? I'm gonna give you one sentence from our preview today, right? What we said was, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb. That part is, open for everybody. And the word of our testimony. The word of the testimony, however, that part is what you're going to need this class for. Content creation for ministry. Content creation for ministry. I'm not going to go any further. Come back to 12:30 tomorrow for the second edition of the preview as we get ready to ramp up for our class on Sunday. Looking forward to it. Man, listen, this past week we had this is what a mind-blowing experience. I just decided to do a quick test of this platform called EV Mux. And it just ballooned into this big, huge thing. I've got an email from the CEO, in my inbox literally right now. I need to get back to him in terms of some other things that we're going to be trying to put together, but definitely take a look at it. It's on the channel right now. It is available. If you go to howitallworks.com, you will see this on the channel. So definitely something I want to make sure you guys are able to take advantage of. Go ahead and check it out. EV Muck's live test of a new streaming platform, brand new streaming platform. So check that out, man. The month of February, Black History Month, we have a lineup to rival all lineups. And last week, if you didn't get it, if you didn't catch last week, you need to go back and get that thing, fam. I'm telling you, go back and get that thing because it was good. It was good. And you listen, buckle in. If you listen, buckle in, because tonight, buckle in, y'all. Kerwin, I see you in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. Buckle in, y'all, because tonight we're going to dive into some, look, we talked about the history. Now we're going to talk about the power of video to highlight Black experiences. And Monty Weaver saw the title and was like, bam, look, super chat, let's get it. And then, of course, we're going to have our sponsor for the month, the author of the book, Tales from the Greenwood District, next week. And then we have Charles Jackson closing it out. BHM is live, y'all, How It All Works style. Definitely excited that you guys are hanging out with us. Man. The t-shirt I have on currently, you will see is slightly different from the t-shirt that Claudia has on. And the one that Claudia has on is a limited edition. Limited. Once February is over, February 2022, once it's over, that shirt goes away. So you want to go ahead and grab your shirt, howitallworks.com/shop. Go and do that now. I saw several of you bought your shirt. You got it in the mail. You're sending me pictures. Definitely do that too. info@howitallworks.com. Drop us an email. I will definitely share some of those pictures in one of our many live streams throughout the course of the week. So definitely excited about that, man. Excited about that. Listen. Oh, she's blushing in the background. This is the beauty of the producer's chair. I can see her in the background. She's like, wait, why is he showing this? I want you guys to know that our guest tonight, Claudia Allen, man, listen, this speaker lineup, you guys need to go ahead and bookmark this bad boy. Her website link is in the description of the video. Doesn't matter where you're watching. Go ahead and grab that website right now. There's a fine Black woman that made that website for her. My goodness. I mean, she might actually be my Valentine. Let me tell you. Hallelujah. But yeah. Go ahead and hit that website, because trust me, you're going to want to lock in. I have been digitally stalking Claudia every week this month to the different speaking engagements. So we went to Atlanta this past Sabbath, and I don't even know where we're going this coming week. Where are we going this? Oh no, she's on the show. Listen, I'm stalking her today. So we're on the show right now. And then of course you want to make sure you keep up with some of the things that she has going on. Hey, Kerwin, I see you. Kanika's out here. Listen, we are having a blast tonight. Finally, I just want to read this quote. Of course, you've seen the flyer. This is the flyer that we put out all on social media. We've been sharing it all over the place. But some of you are not observant. Some of you just saw the pictures and that's it. Everything else just blended into you. You're like, okay, Black History colors. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's a book in the corner. I don't know what that's about. And you just said, okay, Kirk's going to have Claudia on the show, and you just glossed over it. I want to read this quote. This is the quote. And after I read this quote, we're going to go into our intro video, and then we're going to bring Claudia onto the screen. This is the quote. Black History Month is about elevating Black voices, Black businesses, Black content creators, Black experiences. I'm going to repeat it one more time. But before I repeat it one more time, I want some of you guys to think about what we experienced last night together during the halftime show of the Super Bowl, which may as well have been the biggest Black flag on the planet. Black History Month is about elevating Black voices, Black businesses, Black content creators, and Black experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the show. Okay. We got the horns. We got to drop bombs. Listen, we got to get our clapping and cheering into the building. Ladies and gentlemen, we have we have Claudia Allen on the live. Listen, so excited to have you as the guest here tonight, man. Excited.
I am so excited to be here, Kirk. I mean, you know this, and so, since you taking liberties because you're in the producer chair, I'm going to take liberties because I'm the invited guest.
Ooh.
Kirk is one of my favorite all-time number one African-American Black content creators on the internet right now. If you are not following, liking, subscribing, purchasing the merch, then you are not, you don't support Black people.
Come on.
That's basically what I'm going to say right now. No, I'm just joking on the last part, but seriously, Kirk is absolutely one of my absolute number one faves. He is right up there with Black Love. He's right up there with All That. Right up there with some of the most amazing needed platforms that we have right now, just kind of showcasing our work as a culture. And I really appreciate the work that you do for our culture.
Wow. I am humbled and honored. That is a rare thing to catch me off guard. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's usually something I do. Man, that is so good, man. Let me say, Claudia, how you doing, sis? This is I'm so excited to have you.
Good. I'm so excited to be here. I had a birthday this weekend. I said, if I am going to do anybody's show on my birthday weekend,
come on,
the day I take off from work, it's gonna be her. I'm not working for nobody else on my day off.
We are honored and humbled by that. Oh my gosh, amazing to have you here. Listen, this is what I want to say to the folks out there. Listen, this is what we have tonight. I mean, international speakers, highly sought after thought leader. But she is going to be telling us a little bit about herself tonight. I'll give her the first question in just a second, but I want y'all to buckle in. I want to give you guys one more opportunity to share the stream, to tag someone in the comments and get some folks in here. Let's engage around this content because this is a very relevant, critical conversation that we are going to be having. It's going to be fun though. This is the part I can promise you, if Kirk and Claudia are involved, it's going to be fun. It's got to be. It can't be no other way. So, but Claudia, listen, I want you to take a moment. This is our first question where I love getting people to answer this question. You've been on the show before, but I still want people to know. Tell them a little bit about yourself, who you are. And then normally we ask you to tell us your relationship to live streaming. We'll get to that in the second question. Just tell people where you are currently, the type of work that you're engaged in. Yes.
Okay. Totally. So like Kirk said, my name is Claudia. Right now, I am the community outreach supervisor for the Howard County Office of Human Rights and Equity, located in Columbia, Maryland.
Come on.
That's kind of what I do from 8:30 to 5:30. But as Kirk said, I am also an international speaker, preacher. And so I do a lot of, at least over the last 2 years, virtual traveling, and have had the opportunity to to speak in such countries as South Africa, Ireland, Australia, and of course across the United States. And really what people tend to invite me to speak on or ask me to record videos about are topics on the intersectionality of faith, social justice, and communications. Yeah. And so I think in particular, I love integrating global Black history in that as well. So I'm very intentional about elevating Black theologians, Black historians, Black scholars, Black philosophers, Black content creators, individuals that we sometimes would not know about, if we didn't give them the platform and let people know, hey, so-and-so has been actually doing this research or doing this work for forever. Let's not exclusively talk about the European or any other kind of cultural group that might be doing this work really well. It's not to exclude them, but it is to simply elevate and highlight, make people aware of the Pan-African people that are doing this work.
Wow, wow, wow. Amazing, amazing. I think one of the things I want to say right here, because in my description, and I like to listen, I don't know if you guys catch this, but I really like to make sure I deliver on what I put in that description. I don't want people coming to the video and be like, they didn't even talk about the stuff that they said they were going to talk about. So I like to deliver. But in the description, I said, we're even going to share with you some dope Black creators who are killing it. Well, right off the top, you are going to want to follow Claudia right now. Just make sure you follow her. No, because seriously speaking, there are people. We talked with Allison last week about the ways that media and especially live video was used by our forefathers, right? The MLKs of the world, the Malcolm X's of the world, how they understood the camera. Something she said last week about MLK knew how to distill it down to 20 seconds because he knew that's what would make the evening news. Ooh, I thought that was just so powerful. I said, my God. But I also
so you mean to tell me that she basically said MLK was making TikToks before TikTok?
Come on.
Okay, go ahead.
MLK was doing the TikTok. He was thinking and talking.
No problem.
Listen, no, but this is the thing, and you built that bridge so quickly. That's what I love about the current moment, and that's what actually she ended on that point. She said, we have the ability now to create our own stories. And this is the opportunity that exists in this current space. This is why people are like, okay, you're gonna do live video, you're gonna do power of video to highlight Black experiences. You must highlight your experiences for people to understand what it's like to walk in your shoes. And when more people understand what it's like to walk in your shoes, you will see legislation change. You will see the tide start to shift, because people who were on the peripheries, people who were on the fence, people who were Switzerland, very much neutral, begin to lean heavy to another side, because now they're connected to, right? They have been able to see beyond the veil what it looks like in somebody else's lived experience. So we got to follow these Black creators that are doing these things. Come on, Claudia.
I know that you probably are trying to go somewhere else, but let me say this real quick to that point, right?
Yeah.
Any kind of change to the culture is intimately connected to the saturation of the technology of that time.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about the printing press, right?
Yeah.
Then that means if you really do a lot of history, particularly within like the 19th century, late 18th, early 19th century, all of your Black leaders, all of your pastors were publishing in newspapers.
Come on.
So any researcher that wants to know what was happening in the culture during that time, they immediately go to periodicals for research, because that's literally what the Facebook timeline was. That's what Twitter was. That's what all of those things were. And so they were saturating the printed newspaper. Now we are in the 21st century, and now we have a myriad of other platforms. And so what we've got to really understand is that we are shifting and changing the culture because of what we are putting out.
Absolutely.
Either on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, or on YouTube, whether it's pre-recorded, whether it's live streamed, whatever it is, you want to be on top of what is the most trending technological means of distribution at your particular moment. Because that means of distribution is critical to your participation in shifting the culture. If you are participating in an old wave of distribution, you are not participating in the shifting of the culture.
Oof. Oh my, we are off to the races already. I don't even know. We would have to throw out the run sheet, fam, because I don't see it happening tonight. Because I want to tack on something on there, but I'm like, Kirk, we got it. But the truth, what you said is so good. And here's the thing, is that taking time to understand how best to engage in the technology of the day is worthwhile investment. Because they recognize that when those brothers, when those sisters were writing in those columns and newspaper articles back in the day, they weren't just writing willy-nilly. They studied how a column was written, and they wrote the best column according to the times, according to the guidelines for a good column, not for a spiritual column, not for a Black column, but for a good column. And so we need to understand how to engage in these spaces, what is the best way to engage in these spaces so that the message, the reason why you learn the best way to engage in the space, so that your message can get across to the maximum amount of people and have maximum amount of impact. So I feel like we had to make that dovetail as well, because some folk, well, okay, cool, that I have stuff on social media. No. It's what we said Black creators that are killing it. There's a difference.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got
and then Kirk, let's deal with the fact that there was back then a lot of our mainstream publications and newspapers were not publishing Black writers.
This is very
so
true.
Then you had people creating Black newspapers.
Oh man.
In the same way that right now you have Black inventors creating new social media platforms, creating new apps, creating spaces that are exclusively and specifically for the elevation of Black voices. I mean, I can't help but I saw this on Instagram today. Snoop tried to go live last night at the Super Bowl right before his performance, and Instagram completely blocked and shut down his entire account. And so it's like, he then took the moment to push for a Black app. And told people, Instagram, I'm sick of you shutting Black content creators down whenever you feel like it. So you know what? Everybody go check out Fanbase app. Created by Black people. This is, a space where you can go live, you can stream, you can do what you need to do. And you're not going to get shut down by Instagram. So once again, right, we're still dealing with very similar, of the same stuff. And so we're still needing to kind of point one another to the Black inventors and the Black creators that are making space for us.
I love
when
it.
The mainstream does its best to kind of
bring it down.
Keep us out.
Oh my gosh, there's so much gold there. There's so much gold there. One of the things that we talked about, even in a different instance, I think we were talking on this past Friday night, was that Black history is still happening. It's still happening. It's still happening today. It's still happening around us. People are creating Black history in every moment. One story or situation is told of, if we look 20 years into the future, there'll be a 17-year-old kid saying to his granddad, what did you do in 2022 when the world shifted? When people were just learning how to live stream, because like now we have holograms and all this other stuff, we're teleporting to places. But when people were just learning how to live stream, what did you do, granddad? Tell me what you did. And I think the onus is on us to recognize that history is still being made even now. A lot of times when we come to the Black history moment, we think about from a history, we go way back, but people are still creating history. One of the things I loved about love it or hate it. One of the things I loved about the Super Bowl halftime show last night was it was a hat tip to history. It was a hat tip to, it was my generation. I was like in heaven. I was doing the crip walk. I'm going to lie to you. It was all over the place. But it was a moment in time. And I think for me, it kind of hit, like when that music was coming out, I never thought that this would be like, I'm witnessing history in the making. Like, no, I never thought like Snoop and Dre and Mary J and 50 and Eminem would be on a stage talking, as this nostalgia tour essentially, and we'd all be like, oh, I remember when. This is history. Every moment we have, so we have to look at these opportunities that we have currently as opportunities to create history, because somebody's gonna read it in a book. I'm telling you, somebody's gonna be like, yo, you remember Facebook? Remember, you see what I said right there? Do you remember Instagram? Remember, it's gonna be a relic in somebody's, Smithsonian somewhere. Like this was what social media looked like at one point in time, and we are currently using it. And so history is relative. A lot of times we look backwards, but I challenge you to think about about right now. Okay, no. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into the second question. Talk to us about your, content creator story, live stream. How did you get into this space? Because you're in this space in many different ways. You clearly have a presence, and we are encouraging people to follow you. But I always like to ask everybody that comes on the show, how did you get in there? How did you get in there? Mm-hmm.
So I would say I got in there intentionally probably about 3 years ago, when I worked for a Black Christian magazine by the name of Message Magazine. And I was hired contractually to be their online content manager. And I was really responsible while in that role for the digital elevation of the magazine. It was predominantly or exclusively print, but it did have a website, and they had an app. And so they were trying to find new ways to update and bring about the, more traffic to the website, and, make better use of the app, and also increase their social media presence. And so that kind of was my first initiation. So during my time, I started what was called the Message Podcast Network, which was our creation and production of multiple podcast shows. Some were exclusively audio, some were audio and video. And one of the favorite shows that we had was called What's the Message?
That's right.
Which was co-hosted by myself and the managing editor. And we interviewed so many different guests on that. I was able to secure everybody from Pastor Cal from Married at First Sight
to
I remember that Reverend Jim Wallace of Sojourners.
Oh, wow.
We've had a number of major pastors and speakers like Pastor Reginald Sharp the third, or Reginald Sharp Jr. And of course, we had individuals like Pastor Carlton Bird. He also is someone who, he was the speaker director of Breath of Life for several years. And so that, he himself has his own history and depth of resume in content and live stream creation.
You had somebody on that I'm waiting for you to get to their name.
I had this dude named Kirk Nugent.
No, not him. Not him. Yes, you had him, but not him.
I did have him.
You did have him. Sean King. Like that. I'm waiting of like, is she gonna say it? Because if I have to, I will say it.
Guest? Yes. So I was able to secure Sean King. We had a phenomenal conversation with him. His book literally dropped the week that we had him, called Make Change. Like, Claudia, what is it called? Make Change by Sean King. And we recognize, I will say this, we recognized in inviting him that he was a controversial figure. And I want to say on this platform as well that, I also recognize he is a controversial figure. I think what's important is that we may not always agree with everyone that we have conversations with, but I am a proponent of interviewing people to understand their perspective, their opinion, their story.
I love that.
If there are areas where we agree, then that's amazing. If there are areas where we disagree, then we have the opportunity to discuss those disagreements as well. Yeah. But I'm not one that only wants to talk to people who are of my like mind. And I prefer to invite people that I'm more than likely going to disagree with. Because if we're honest, since we're talking about creating content, it makes for way better content.
It does. It does.
For way better content. If I just bring a bunch of people on to talk about stuff that we all agree about, then that's going to be one really boring show.
Man. You're giving out gold. I love that. I'm trying to catch us back up. I think, listen, folks, this is what I want to say, family, as we get into our audience question. I'm going to throw the audience question up, but I want to say this to you. The audience question is a throwback to Claudia's quote that we read at the beginning. But I want to say to you, fam, if you you owe it to yourself to go check out some of this stuff, some of these content that she's talking about. What's the message? Oh, such a rich resource of discussions that will spark discussions And here's the thing. This is the point. I think it's not so much to say answer the question. I know there are spaces where we do need to chart the way forward. We need to have practical action steps, but sometimes it is in the engaging, just in the practice, in the activity of engagement, that we begin to take a few steps closer to one another's quote unquote side. And that exercise is what ends up bringing more understanding, more compassion, and people being able to, again, walk in the shoes of someone whose experience they do not share, whose background they do not share, right? And those are the things that help to bring, you know, some galvanization around a specific thing. So this is our question for you guys, and we're going to play our our sponsor video as you guys deliberate. Share some examples of social media, of how social media, live video, and content creation have been used to highlight life experiences. Talk to us in the comments about how, or give us some examples of some creators and what they have done that help to really highlight life experiences. I put up a reel yesterday about what my family did for Valentine's, and it seemed to be creating some buzz. But talk to us in the comments about some examples of how you've seen social media, live video, and content creation used to highlight experiences. And while you do that, we're going to play our video, our sponsor for the month, Tales from the Greenwood District.
We're all familiar with Rosa Parks' refusal on the bus that day. The music, artistry, and soul from the Renaissance in Harlem. And who could forget Martin Luther King's eloquent and vivid dream on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial? But why don't you know about Greenwood? The District of Tulsa, named after a city in Mississippi. The district better known as Black Wall Street. Yes, the place where the massacre happened. But did you know the people who live there are more than what happened to them? If you can't answer that question, then you owe it to yourself to read Tales from the Greenwood District by Julian Waddell. Exploring the history that created the legacy, highlighting the lives lived rather than how those lives were lost. Get your copy on Amazon today. For more information, visit talesfromthegreenwooddistrict.com.
Dope. Let me just pause here. Even as your comments are coming in, man, if you don't have this book, Tales from the Greenwood District, trust me, go pick that thing up. The link is in the description, talesfromthegreenwooddistrict.com. It is an interactive website. It is not your normal, average, everyday, run-of-the-mill website. It is interactive. They're sharing stories, everything, the graphic design, the details, all of it has specifics. The reason why I know this is because I've interviewed Julian Waddell multiple times. He's a personal friend, author of the book, and he will be on next week. So definitely go ahead and grab the book. It's an easy read. It's a read that you might want to even do with your family, and then come with your questions next week. All right, that's enough about that. I want to get our question back up on the screen. So I saw somebody say Black Lives Matter. Again, definitely one of those hashtags that a lot of people follow. It means something different to so many different people. But we're not even going to dive into that. But there is actually a thing that was started called Black Lives Matter, and it is a form of content that is shaping, or at least highlighting, experiences of a particular people group. So I think that absolutely is an answer to the question that we've put on the screen. I see Albert saying, "What's up, Claudia? We missed you on Friday." Look at that. We got some.
What's good, Albert?
That's what's up, man. So even as we continue in our conversation, I want you guys to continue putting up some of those experiences that social media has helped to highlight. I mean, one thing that I can think of right off the top of my head is I work with a guy who does live streaming who is blind. He's visually impaired, and he has this keyboard that allows him to do some of the things, and it was just a complete left turn from what I was used to in working with him to help him use StreamYard to live stream. And then, of course, it shaped how I asked some of my questions to StreamYard as I was giving feedback, because it's like, well, that actually does not translate well because the software that, you see what I'm saying? So when you get a chance to get into people's experiences, it changes you. It opens your mind up to, okay, so that's how that person, so for somebody who's visually impaired, imagine so being visually impaired and being a live streamer. Come on, y'all. Some of y'all got excuses. Your boy can't see and he's still live streaming, yo. He live streamed 3 days a week. But I'm saying that's to say there are so many ways that video has been used to highlight experiences that we would otherwise not be able to see. And yes, this is Black History Month, but I'm just using it as a general thing here to say experiences, period. How have you been impacted? So let us know in the comments. All right, Claudia, here's a question for you while they answer that one.
Okay.
You said Black history is about elevating Black experiences. Love this.
Yeah.
You went through a whole list, and I saw myself in that list, and I was like, hallelujah, somebody. Let's highlight some Black creators. But I know for somebody out there, it's like, what does that look like, right? What does that look like so I'm a live streamer, I'm a content creator. What does that look like for me? What does it look like to highlight Black experiences when I'm creating content for Instagram, or when I'm putting content on my YouTube channel? What does that look like?
Yeah. So I think that there are a number of people who do this really, really well and I think it also depends on what kind of experiences are you wanting to highlight. I think that someone like Kev on Stage and that chick Angel are fantastic at elevating the humor within Black experiences. I also feel like a page like Black Love elevates romance, and they showcase the everyday lives of Black couples, and not just Black couples, y'all, but Black marriages. I think that's critical too.
That's critical to say.
This notion that Black people don't get married, right? With that, I just thought of Sean Williams' platform and the Dad Gang.
Yes, the Dad
They
Gang
are a phenomenal. He is constantly showcasing African American men as fathers who are intimately involved in their kids' lives. Dads doing their daughter's hair, dads going to games, dads changing diapers, dads, going to marches, like dads really being involved. Another really great content creator for the purposes of education, I think, is someone like Garrison Hayes, who is he's like a brother to me. He has over 200,000 followers on TikTok. He is probably what I would consider at this point right now, like the premier TikTok teacher of African American history, culture, and conversations about anti-racism. So he's constantly dropping content and information about what it really means to be anti-racist, Black history, all of those things.
I'm bringing it up on the screen because I want to make sure, even as we're talking about them, I want people to see it and maybe even get a chance to follow. We didn't get a chance to put all of these links in the description, but this is the Dad Gang on Instagram. And if you're watching and you're saying to yourself, okay, give us some examples, practical, tangible examples of what this looks like. This is one that Claudia just mentioned. This is very, very good stuff that they're putting out here constantly. Here's the Black Love page. Definitely one to consider and to look into, especially because they're highlighting marriage. I mean, this is not something that we always get a chance to do. Garrison Hayes, oh my God! Just as Claudia said, this is somebody that I know, superficially, not as close as Claudia is, but somebody that I highly respect. And I mean, just just because of the content alone, I can't even imagine trying to put together some of these kind of videos. I want to share one of them. What do you say, Claudia? Let's share one of them with them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This one about Althea Gibson blew my mind, and I'm going to play this, and I'm just going to pray that nobody pulls me down.
That was incredible.
There was this lady.
Well, in my own mind.
We're going to refresh that.
Before Serena was making grown women cry on the tennis court.
Oh, come on. That was incorrect.
There was this lady.
Well, in my own mind, with my type of game, I probably could have beaten most of the players.
That's Althea Gibson. I'm Garrison Hayes, and this is the Black Defiance mixtape. Althea Gibson was born in 1927 in Silver, South Carolina, but during the Great Migration, her family, like many other black families, left all they knew in the South to go north in hopes of better opportunity. And in 1940, a group of her neighbors collected money to sponsor tennis lessons for Althea and a group of other kids in the community. It wasn't long before Althea was crushing her competition. And even though Althea faced unfathomable racism, like not being allowed to walk through the front door of tournaments, she was dominating. In spite of all that, she was defiantly committed to believing in herself.
Who could have thought that stands before you a Negro woman raised in Harlem and went on to become a tennis player with the help of many, many people.
Althea's story is a powerful lesson on the impact that a supportive community can have in changing the world. That's why I'm thankful to the black-owned brand HIAW for supporting this series. If her neighbors hadn't sponsored her lessons, if black tennis pros hadn't taken her in and opened doors, if an HBCU hadn't awarded her a full ride, we may have never had Althea, Venus, Serena, Naomi, or Coco.
God grant that all the youngsters who are coming up today trying to get in some field of sport that they love, they like to play, I hope that God grant them the encouragement, the determination to carry on as I have.
Like and follow for more. Before Serena was making grown women cry on the tennis court.
Yeah. And I mean, this is the thing too, right? And I feel like you talked about this, Kirk. You know, TikTok is a very particular platform that requires you to make content within a very short period of time.
Yes.
And the reason why Garrison's content is so powerful is because he stays within that 15 to 60 second window, and he packs it with so much historical information. But because the camera shots switch so quickly between him and, content. Old video, historical video, or, other kinds of content, it holds your attention. And it's so interesting. And he's also a great personality. He also is he's hilarious, sarcastic, all of the things. And so when you're thinking about the kinds of content that you're wanting to put out, and you're feeling like, hey, I want to put out content that's elevating Black experiences, your success is really contingent upon your understanding of the platform that you really want to be on. So Garrison really understands the platform that he's on, which is TikTok. Kev on Stage really understands the platform that is YouTube. And many other, platforms as well. Black Love understands the platform that is Instagram, right? Instagram is heavy photo, video. And so if you get a whole bunch of really well taken pictures, high quality, either the pictures are very high quality that it makes people stop and gasp, or they're so vulnerable that the quality could be on your flip phone. It doesn't matter. It's just what's in the picture itself.
Right.
That kind of content soars, I was also, I thought about another content creator, a friend of mine, Dr. Ben Baker, who is a historian. He has over 15,000 subscribers to his YouTube channel, which is Black SDA History. Wow. And he has an archive of that, and it's like video after video after video of really old historical information that a lot of people absolutely love watching and listening to his retelling of of this history. He talks to a lot of individuals that are I can't say from that time period, because many of them have passed on. Obviously, we're talking about the 1900s. But there are individuals, like he just had an interview with, I can't remember his name now. But he's a major doctor who used to work for the CDC, and he worked on pandemics. Wow. And so he's giving like all this like really great information and history on past modes of operation and things like this. But this particular channel, like if you're watching Black SDA history YouTube videos, those videos are a minimum of like 30, 45 minutes.
I can imagine, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it's also kind of like understanding, okay, like what am I trying to accomplish?
Yes.
Like what
This is the
kinds of
practical. Yes.
experiences am I trying to share, showcase, elevate? And then what is the best platform that will allow me to elevate those experiences?
Yeah.
And then what are the creative constraints that I am being given on that platform? Can I even convey my message effectively within those constraints?
Yes.
If I can, then that's great. If maybe it's a challenge, it'll cause me to share the content in even better ways if I'm stretched in this capacity.
Right.
Or maybe it's just like, actually, no, I actually can't put this in a reel. I cannot put this in a TikTok. I cannot put this in a YouTube video, 30-minute YouTube video. I have to write this out and put it on Medium. Now you're in Claudia's land, right?
Come on over. Right.
Maybe that's a thing too. But either way, you really want to understand, what is it that I want to share? Which platform is going to best aid me in the distribution of that message?
Mm-hmm.
And then what are the creative confines? What are the guardrails of this particular platform? And can I actually produce within those?
Wow. There's so much. I don't know if you were taking notes. I hope you were out there, fam, because this is already the clinic. I mean, this is it. You've been given the framework. This is also really good for the whole content creation for ministry scenario that I've got coming up. Because a lot of people do just do the multi-post, right? It's like, well, just put it out there on everything. And the truth is, you need to understand each platform and what it is and what its constraints are, what people do, what is the normative behavior there, and how can I engage in a way for my content to be successful. And if it isn't, you have to kind of weigh that thing and say, I wonder, should I even put this on this platform? People are just now kind of sort of figuring out, well, not everybody. There are some people who are killing it on LinkedIn, but there's a lot of folks who were kind of just waking up like, wait a minute, LinkedIn is a thing. LinkedIn is dumping ridiculous amounts of money into bringing content creators to the platform because they recognize that content creators, think about this piece. This is so critical. Content creators, every platform needs a committed set of content creators who are creating content for the platform. It's just that simple. Otherwise, the platform itself ceases to be relevant. The platform itself ceases to
traffic.
be. Yeah. So they need you just as much as you need them. But each platform has its specific niche, has its specific, way, terminology, vernacular, rules even. And you have got to be able to speak the language, follow those guidelines and rules for your stuff to be successful. And I think that is the piece that for a lot of us, that is the technical part that I want to make sure that everybody gets. But I don't want you to also miss the very practical piece of put yourself in the content. This is the piece that is so like if I think for Garrison, I mean, you have to know him, but he puts himself in the content. Like he puts his entire self in the content. If you understand the story behind Sean Williams and the Dad Gang, it is a very personal experience that he put into the content. And the thing is, by putting yourself into the content, I just got the thing in my head that just said, Kirk, you're talking too much. When you put yourself in the content, you give people an opportunity to walk in your shoes. You give people an opportunity to see life through your lens and to understand its weight. To feel it, to have it settle in and be like, oh my God, is that what it's like? So while the content is engaging, while the content is informative, while the content delivers its own purpose, people also get to see life through your eyes. And this is what I strive to do, even when I'm teaching you live video content, right? I'm always saying, well, as a church media director, and people are like, oh, okay, now I know that Kirk is a media director. It has nothing to do with teaching you how to use StreamYard. But because you know that now, you are that much closer to who I am, and it starts to resonate. We become friends through the content. And that's the piece. Let me shut up now. We get some comments. Go ahead, Claudia. Go ahead.
That's so good, dude, because even as you were talking, right? I mean, the most engagement I get on my Instagram is pictures of me. I could drop the deepest, dopest quote of life. I could even, but whatever it is, it has to be either a video of me preaching or me speaking, or it has to be a picture of me. That is where people are like, oh,
Boom.
yes. And so I think this is what I learned from that. I don't think it's that people are vain or that they only want to see faces. I think that people get attached to messages when they can see and feel why you care.
Yes.
So it's like, it's very easy for me to come on here right now and tell you that Black History Month is important. And let's say me and Kirk's videos are completely off and it's just, I just like, it's just that quote, like that quote that I sent you, right?
Yeah.
Like on your flyer, the quote by itself, like people might have read that quote and been like, wow, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
But then when I come on here and I say, no, like Black History Month is about Black content creators. It's about Black experience. It's about elevating Black voices, and they can hear my passion and they can see my body language. Then it's like, oh wait, no, like she really, like this is for real. Like I can sense and feel that this is a very real thing for her. And immediately people then begin to experience my why. And part of content creation is not just about sharing really good information or really good content or really good ideas. Yeah. It's also about being able to translate your why. What is your why? Does this matter to you? What is the so what? If you cannot articulate your so what, your why, then it's not going to transmit in the messaging either. And no one will get it. Whether it's video, whether it's audio, whether it's a picture, if you cannot communicate your so what, if you cannot communicate your why, then you are never going to be able to effectively communicate any message that you have about Black history, Black experiences, Black content creation.
Man, I hope you listen, fam. I'm really praying that you guys are tracking with us, praying that you guys are hitting, because the truth of the matter is that why piece so critical. So critical, because it's that why piece that will cause you to learn the tech. Is the why piece that will cause you to continue posting when it's not quite working out, because you're still trying to figure out the pieces and the platform and the rules and all of the things. The why is the sustaining power. And so the why is doubly important, because when people resonate with your why, they will resonate with your content. But if you don't resonate with your why, you won't post the content. So you have it from both sides, and it's so important. Love the way you put that. Look, Claudia, I've got to make sure that people know how to find and follow you. But I got one question from my girl Jasmine here. How important is the culture of the platform or social norm of content being distributed on the platform? I don't know if you want to touch that one.
I would love to. I just almost want to ask like a follow-up. Like go ahead. What is meant by like the culture of the platform?
Yeah, I think Jasmine, man, you just gonna have to jump in the after party, Jasmine. You're gonna have to jump in the after party and come hang out with us for a little bit longer, as they say, go a little deeper in the content because come in the after party. Oh, where do you buy the tickets for the after party? Did somebody ask that? Oh, you go right here. The link is in the description on Facebook and YouTube and all of the places. You go right here. You click here where it says after party. You click that bad boy, and when you click that bad boy, this is the wrong flyer because Kirk didn't really do his work, but this is the right link. This is the right link. So you click this bad boy, it's going to get you in the after party. And once you get in the after party, you'll be able to ask your questions and all that good stuff. This is what we're going to do, man. We're going to give Claudia, come on in the room. She usually does. She's one of our regulars, one of the members on my channel. So, but listen, this is what I want to do, Claudia, in the next 2-3 minutes. Just take a second to tell people what projects you got coming up, where they can follow you, how they can support what it is you're doing, and any other final things you want to say around highlighting Black experiences with video and with content in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at I am Claudia Allen. Projects this week, I am here at How It All Works tonight. And then I'm actually recording some content when I get off of this with Kirk that I need to send for a social justice project that's happening in South Africa.
Nice.
So I'll record that, send that out. That's actually not religious. And then this Saturday, I'll be preaching for my home church, which is the Emmanuel Brinklow Seventh-day Adventist Church. So obviously you can
Lovely.
watch that on
Yeah.
YouTube at Brinklow SDA.
Lovely.
And so, yeah, I'm excited. We're staying busy, going back to work in the morning.
Listen, and I know you just celebrated a birthday too, so we're excited
Yes.
about your birthday, the birthday.
Thank
That's
you.
what's up. Man, it's been such a pleasure to have you and just to be able to
It's been a
engage in
pleasure.
this way. Kerwin says, "Where in South Africa? Where in South Africa?" But listen, Kerwin, you have to get in the
Yeah.
room, man. Get in the room, Doc. Get in
Come
the
in the
room.
room. Come in the room. It's not really like I'm not physically going to South Africa. There is
Yeah.
someone in South Africa that's doing a project and they asked me to send them a recording. So
Nice. I love it. This is what it's all about. I just want to make sure that folks, even as we get ready to close this thing out, the point is experiences are transmitted effectively through content, and especially video, and especially live video. I think one of the things that Claudia said, but maybe didn't say explicitly, was it's one thing to read the quote, but when you see her, when you see her say the quote, when you hear the passion, when you see the determination, and that it means something to the person, there is something that translates. There's something. That's why I'm such a huge proponent of live video. There's something that translates. I've seen it both in the social justice space, in diversity, equity, inclusion. I've seen it LGBTQ. I've seen it in all kinds of spaces. When people see you live, there's something that happens. I've seen it in business spaces, CEOs, executives, nonprofits, all kinds of places. When people see you live and they say, hold on, David.
I know, right? I thought that comment too. I was like, okay, remember where we are, huh? Remember where we are.
When people see you live, there is something that happens where they don't need the ad campaign. They don't need the slogan. They don't need the pitch. They see it. They see it. They see that this person's not doing this just because they need to put food on the table. They're doing this because there's a passion. There's something deeper. In fact, I want to know what that is. And that's what I love about content. That's what I love about content. And I hope that you guys can plug into that, because it is an absolutely powerful tool that we all have access to. And I think as has been said throughout the show today, there are many creators that are killing it. I want to make sure you guys get a chance to follow them. I will update the description on these videos so that you guys have access to those resources. But the same thing that Allison Davis said last week is that we now have the ability to create. The gatekeepers of her day are no longer there, because we're breaking into, oh my word, now it's been democratized to an extent. I mean, you heard what Snoop said last night. It's been democratized, and you now have access to be able to share your story in your way on these platforms. So because we have that kind of experience, take advantage of that experience. And again, I can't wait for next week. Claudia, oh my God, thank you so much for coming through and hanging out, sis. It's like boom, gone. But don't go anywhere. We're gonna get you into the after party.
All righty. See you guys there.
Fam. Listen, I hope that you guys have been catching up. I hope you've been watching. You've been paying attention to the podcast, to the lives. You have the notification on. If you haven't subscribed already, I hope you've already subscribed, because we want to make sure that you guys are able to capture the messages. Sometimes they're disjointed. Sometimes they're a theme. Sometimes it's just one and done. But a lot of them have this recurring thread through them. And so we want to make sure you guys get a chance to capture all of them. Hit us in the comments, my replay squad. Hit us in the comments. Let us know what you like. liked. Let us know what your questions are. Email us, info@howitallworks. We want to engage with you. We want to hear the second part of the conversation. This was one part. The two-way piece is the part of the conversation we're looking forward to. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher, hoping it's somewhere today in the video while Claudia and I got a chance to chat about the power of video to highlight Black experiences, that you were able to peek behind the veil. You were able to have that light bulb aha moment. You were able to essentially figure out how it all works. And I'll see you in the next video. Later.